Hello, Rising Star parents and students. Welcome back for another great school year. I'm very excited to get the ball rolling. Just to introduce myself, my name's Logan Williams. This is my third year teaching fifth grade and my third year at Rising Star. I received my undergraduate degree from the University of Kansas. Big Jayhawk fan, so go Rock Chalk. I'm also working on my master's degree from Baker University, so I have another year left of that. Throughout the school year, feel free to contact me at any time. My email is down here at loganwilliams@smsd.org. Uh, I'm also going to be utilizing this app called Remind. Last year I tried it, and I didn't have a whole lot of parents sign up, so I didn't really use it all that much. But I figured I'd give it another shot. Basically, what this app is it's an app you download on your phone, and basically it's kind of like text. So um, that's an option as well to communicate with me. However, email probably will be the main source of communication. Also, feel free to contact me through my school phone. Keep in mind that I am at school every day from 7:40 to at least 3:40. Usually I stay till about 4 or 4:30, so sometimes later. But I will always get back to you if I miss your call. Also, I have a Twitter handle down here at Mr. Williams1245. So feel free to follow me as well if you'd like. So some helpful information. Please complete all paperwork in Skyward. This is really big because iPads will not be able to be issued until forms are completed. Conferences will be ongoing and through different means of communicating. I know that you guys have very busy lives, and so I understand it's not always easy to kind of just head over to the school and have a conference. So if you ever need to be flexible after school hours, I can do phone calls, video calls for conferences, anything like that. So just make sure you let me know ahead of time, and I'd be happy to conference with you. Our elementary school is also implementing a no birthday treats policy. There was a letter that went home a while back. If you did not receive that, I'd be happy to send it to you. Obviously, we'll still make sure that we celebrate their birthday, but we just can't have treats. So if you'd like that, feel free to contact me. There will also be two school-wide parties, a Halloween party and a Valentine's Day party. And we'll go over the rules and regulations and all that later on. But it should be a fun time, and the students enjoyed it every year. So here's a snapshot of our schedule that we'll have this school year. We always start the morning off with Mindful Morning. This is kind of a reflection meditation time for students to kind of get their minds right before the school day starts. Everybody has different mornings. Sometimes you're rushing out to catch the bus or trying to get to school on time, and it can be kind of chaotic. And so this is a time for students to get their minds right before they start learning for the day. From 8:30 to 9:25, we will be having math. 9:25 to 10:15, we'll have specials. 10:20 to 10:35, recess. And then 10:40 to 11:25, we will have English Language Arts, which stands for ELA. That will be split in between lunch. So lunch will be 11:25 through 11:55. And then we'll resume ELA. From 12:30 to 1, we will have Science and Social Studies. Those will switch off per unit. So we'll have one science unit, and then we'll have another social studies unit. And we'll kind of flip-flop. And I'll talk more about that curriculum a little bit later on through the video. Another thing to be aware of, if you have students that are interested in band or strings, that will be during that 12:30 to 1 o'clock time. I'd love for students to go out and try it. It's great to get involved in the arts. However, they will be missing that first half, so just be conscious of that. So, but you know what, we'll get them set up and we'll get them ready to succeed. So, even though they're missing that first half, we'll get them caught up. We will then resume from 1 o'clock to 1:30, Science and Social Studies. Here's our schedule continued. From 1:35 to 2:30, we will be having English Language Arts WIN time. Now, WIN stands for What I Need. As we know, all students have different learning needs, different strengths, different areas for improvements. And so this is basically a way to give students what they need to be successful. So this may be, we may be moving around fifth grade, but it'll be basically kind of looking at what students need to be successful. And then from 2:30 to 3 o'clock, we'll be having student conferences. So this will really be a time where I will be able to conference with students, see how they're feeling that day, if they're not feeling good about a certain topic we talked about, or if they're struggling in math, we can talk about it. And it kind of gives me an idea of where the student's at. We will also be doing goal setting, since I think goal setting is very important in order to be successful. And we'll also be doing some interactive read alouds as well during that time. 3 o'clock, we'll be having dismissal. All right, on to English language arts. So basically, English language arts, I love reading. I'm a big reader, and I want to make sure students enjoy reading as well. So basically what we're doing is we're focusing on building a love and appreciation for reading through student choice. I think it's very important that students get to choose books and read books that really interest them. Independent reading time, we will have time set aside that students will have plenty of that, and emotional and compelling literature. Students will experience a variety of reading and writing opportunities, and will have choices to demonstrate their knowledge. I remember back when I was in school, and sometimes, I had an idea where, I want to do something a little bit differently, and sometimes the teachers were like, no, sometimes they were like, yes. And so I feel like students, I'll have a menu of different assessments and stuff like that, where students will get to pick and choose, and it'll be really based on strengths. We are also focusing on each student's individual talents and growth, and not so much on a letter grade that ends the learning. We will empower each student to focus on their own growth as a reader, writer, and individual. As for math, we use a curriculum called Engage New York. It has 6 different modules. Module 1 will be place value and decimal fractions. Module 2 will be multi-digit whole numbers and decimal fraction operations. Module 3 will be addition and subtraction of fractions. Module 4 will be multiplication, division of fractions, and decimal fractions. Module 5 will be addition and multiplication with volume and area. And then lastly, Module 6 will be problem solving with coordinate plane. Social studies, we'll be talking about societies of North America. So up here, I'll have the different topics we're going to be learning about throughout the school year. These will be the different units. And then the standards are located down here. But we'll be talking about lands and people, which is basically ancient times all the way to the 1400s. Exploration and conflict, all the way from the 1000s to the 1600s. Colonization, road to independence. I really have a lot of fun with the road to independence and the American Revolution, since I'm a big Hamilton fan. And so I always thought that was an interesting time period. Building a new nation as well, from the 1770s to 1790s. The standards we'll be talking about are choices have consequences. Number 2, individuals have rights and responsibilities. Societies are shaped by beliefs, ideas, and diversity. Societies experience continuity and change over time. And relationships between people, places, ideas, and environments are dynamic, and they're always changing. As for science, our first unit will be matter and energy and organisms and ecosystems, and they'll be around August to October. The times may vary a little bit, but it'll be around that time. We will also be doing, for the second unit, structure and properties of matter. That'll be from October to January. And then we'll be doing stars and solar system, January through March. And then in Unit 4, we'll do Earth Systems, which is from March to May, basically the end of the school year. And we'll also be using the engineering design throughout the school year. That'll be incorporated in all the different subjects that we do. We do a lot of it in social studies. We'll do some science experiments, but basically it's using the engineering design process to kind of start thinking about different problems and how we can solve those problems through critical thinking. So our school does have runs a BIS program. BIS stands for Behavioral Instructional Support Team. Obviously, with behaviors, we have three goals for life: outside of school and in school. We can make good choices even if we're mad. We can be okay if others are not okay. And we can do something even if we don't want to. As adults, you probably understand this. And so that's kind of what we try to practice at school in order to be successful once we, move on from elementary to middle all the way up to adulthood. But what this plan is, it's all about forming a partnership with the student. So I'm going to work really hard to make sure that I'm helping students grow and meet their needs. And, uh, you know, we also have placement options over here. If a student's not being successful in a classroom seat, then we'll make sure that they're successful by moving them to a place where they can be successful. And it's all about giving students grace and praising them when they're doing things that are amazing, which they always are, and so on. But there's also a buddy room. If they can't be safe or in the safe seat, then they'll go to a buddy room, which our buddy room will be one of the fifth grade rooms. So either Mr. Bush's classroom or Mr. Kramer's. And if they can't be successful there, or if they're being distracting, then they'll be going to the recovery room, and lastly, the principal's office. I'm not expecting for this to happen very often, if at all, but I want to make you aware of it as well. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to contact me. My email is probably the best way to reach me. I'm also really good at responding on the phone if I'm at school or if you leave a voicemail. But remember, my email is loganwilliams@smsd.org. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter to see all the amazing things happening in fifth grade. I'll try to post more often. I was kind of lacking at the end of the school year last year, so but I'm really excited to meet you all and to work with your students and to work with you guys as well. So looking forward to a great school year.